This is Google Apps Updates Roundup number 131. In this episode, I will show you more than 25 new features in 12 different Google apps, so make sure all your apps are up to date and let me show you what's new. Let's start with the YouTube app, and here I'm going to show you 3 new changes. The first change is the new Watch It Again section at the top of your home feed with the ability to hide it if you want, and when you tap on the name, it takes you straight away to your watch history. The second change is the Shorts autoplay support. So when I stop on the autoplay grid, one of these videos will autoplay automatically, like this one for example. Plus earlier today, I've seen this autoplay mute switch, but for some reason it's gone. Maybe it's a bug and it will make its way back, but I'm not sure. The second change is the ability to clear all the controls from your Shorts screen by tapping on the ellipses, and you will see clear screen option. I already showed you this feature before back in the day, but it disappeared and it made its way back. When you tap on clear screen, this is what you get, and if you want to revert back, you can tap on this button at the bottom right corner, and everything gets back to normal. And the last change is the ability to tap and hold on any of the sides to play the video in 2x speed like this, which is similar to the normal long-form videos player, but this one has the edge because you can also pull down to lock 2x speed, and you can see it written here at the bottom of the screen. Once you pull down, it adds the lock, and if you want to unlock the speed, you need to tap and hold again and then pull down and it will unlock it. Also keep in mind that when you tap and hold in the center, it expands the menu same as before. So this gesture is only limited to the sides. Next, Google Photos. And here I'm going to show you 7 new changes. The first change is related to memories. I got this brand new Let's Play option in the carousel. Tapping on it takes you through a memory game based on your photos. It gives you multiple games to play. So let's see what we will get this time. This one is called Double Take, and the description says seeing double, tap to match. Here you need to reveal all the photos and see which ones match together to eliminate the options. And at the end, it will give you a score and a time. You can see the timer showing over here how many moves I did. So let me finish the game to show you the final score. Once you're done with the puzzle, it will give you a card with your score and the time. And here's how it looks. You can play again or quit and tap on it one more time to get a totally different game. So for example, sometimes I get something called memory shuffle. I get something called photo puzzle. This one will show one of your photos in a different order. So you need to drag the tiles to complete the proper photo, and so on and so forth. The second change is the redesigned collage maker with more editing options. Tapping on the plus button, then collage, then select the photos, hit create. All the buttons that we used to have at the bottom are now at the top. Plus we got 2 new tabs at the bottom, one for templates and one for borders. Now you have the ability to edit the borders width like this, and you can revert back. You can change the radius and also change the borders color. So all these options we never had before. And when you go to the templates, you will see much more templates when compared to the previous version. We used to have a single carousel at the bottom of the screen, but now you have multiple groups to choose from. You have grid, film, classic, love, celebration, floral, decoration, and finally shapes. Moving to the collections tab, it got a nice visual tweak. Now the padding between the thumbnails and the containers border is smaller, which makes it easier to see what's inside each collection. Another change under collections, when you go to moments, the latest creation now shows on top, and it gets this new album tag at the top left corner. The Create tab also got a complete revamp with this update. Now we have 2 new sections at the top, while the rest of the page looks exactly the same. The first one called Quick Start, that includes Remix, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, highlight, video, animation, collage, and cinematic photo. All these options we used to have under the plus menu only, but now you get a quick shortcut for each one. Then we have the Remix Your Photos carousel, which will give you a sneak peek at the different styles you can use to remix your photos. Tapping on View All takes you to the dedicated page, which you can also do by tapping on the Remix button like this. Here you will see plenty of styles to choose from. With 3 filters at the top, you have Reimagine, Art Styles, and finally Filters. So let's pick one of the styles. Here's the first one, and I'm gonna pick a photo of myself, then hit generate to see what's gonna happen. So here's the end result, and it looks really, really nice. Even though I picked a photo on the beach, but it managed to make it professional in a really nice way. Here we have the option to give feedback, regenerate, share, or save the photo to gallery. Next, Google app. And here I'm gonna show you 4 new changes. Starting with Google Lens, the floating bar at the bottom got this light gray background color instead of using the darker and more translucent one like before. In Circle to Search, when you use the translate option, now the language picker along with the scroll to translate are grouped together in one container, while previously the language picker was showing at the top. In the AI mode, we got a revamped side menu with more features. First, it doesn't fill the entire screen like before. Plus, we have the ability to search previous threads, and when you tap on the search bar, it expands to fill the entire width. Then the start a new thread button used to be an icon button only, but now it has a name. And finally, the today section got renamed to recent. And lastly, Google now saves your media with your search services history. And when you first get the feature, you should see this overlay card, which I got while using Circle to Search. And it says here, media like your files, images, and audio from your interactions with search services is now being saved with your search services history to provide and improve Google experiences for you and everyone, including to train AI models. Search services include search, maps, shopping, flights, translate, and news. You can change whether media is included in search services history anytime. And if you want to turn off this feature, start Circle to Search, tap the ellipses, then go to history, and you will see your search services history setting is on. When you tap on it and then scroll down a bit, you will see the Save Media checkbox, so you can uncheck it if you want. Next, Google Chrome, which got a big new feature. Google started to roll out Gemini in Chrome to Latin America, Africa, and the Middle East. Once available on your browser, you should see this Ask Gemini button at the top right corner. When clicked, it expands in a side panel. It starts with some suggestions, then the prompt box that automatically references the current tab, which you can remove by clicking on this tiny X. You can also reference multiple tabs at the same time, either by using the @ sign to reveal the open ones, or by clicking the plus button that also includes a feature called Browse Skills, which I will show you in a minute. The Tools menu includes the Personal Intelligence toggle. As you may know, this feature uses your personal data saved in Google Workspace apps and others to give you tailored answers. Then we have the model picker, which you can set to auto or pick one of the available options with the ability to toggle extended thinking. Gemini Live is also accessible from here. It opens as a floating window, adds a blue border around the web page with the ability to toggle captions, and under the More menu, you can start a new chat, change voice, or access Gemini settings. Back to the Browse Skills, it's a tool to give Gemini detailed instructions on how to do certain tasks with the ability to save for future use. It comes preloaded with plenty of skills classified by type. So let's pick the meal planner as an example. This one requests a single illustrated cooking game plan and timeline based on the provided recipes, in addition to a lot of instructions on how to format, order, and show collected data. Once added, you can reference it with a / then the skill name, or use the plus menu. Added skills appear under the Your Skills page. From here, you can edit, delete, or copy instructions. Under this page, you can also create your own skills from scratch by clicking the Add button at the top right, which opens a floating window to give it a name and to provide all the instructions. It suggests keeping the explanation concise under 150 words. You can also use Gemini to improve your skill by clicking the pencil button like this. Back to the side panel at the top right corner, you can pop out a chat in a floating window that you can place anywhere on the screen. The ellipsis gives you access to previous chats, continue chat in new tab, in addition to settings and help, which includes Gemini apps activity, personal intelligence settings, privacy hub, send feedback, and open Chrome settings. The latter takes you to a brand new settings page called AI Innovations to manage certain preferences, like show Gemini at the top of the browser, show in system tray, set the keyboard shortcuts, captions, permissions, and more. Let me also show you some examples on how to use Gemini in Chrome. In this example, I referenced 4 articles and a YouTube video about Android 17 asking Gemini to list all the new features mentioned in these references. Something like this could save you hours of research. You can also use the Browse Skills feature to create tailored plans, like the meal planner skill I showed you earlier. In this example, I requested a daily 3-meal plan with high-protein, chicken-free Egyptian meals. It provided me with detailed instructions, a timetable, and visuals. It can be used for shopping. I asked Gemini to add certain products to my Amazon cart, but unfortunately this feature is not yet supported in my region. However, I have seen other reviewers being able to achieve this, which is very handy. Or even use it to edit images you see online like in this example. So the scenarios are endless. I might create a separate video talking about this feature in detail to show you how to get the best out of it. Before jumping to the next chapter, if you like my wallpapers, let me show you the latest ones added to the Wallpapers by In-Depth Tech Reviews app. I've just added 40 new wallpapers to the collection that will make your smartphone look stunning. You have seen some of them throughout the video to show you how they look in real life. Plus, you have the ability to download any of these wallpapers locally on the device by tapping on this button, which will give you the chance to apply the wallpaper effects of your operating system on any of them. If you want to give it a try, you will find Google Play Store download link in the description. And now let's get back to Google Apps. Now let's talk about the apps that only got one new change, starting with Gemini. When you trigger it inside apps, like this, and then expand the plus menu, you should see this new screen shortcut. Tapping on it takes a screenshot and attach it to the command prompt. Also, it depends on the content showing on the screen. So when I play a video like this one and then expand the plus menu one more time, this time it gave me a YouTube video shortcut. Tapping on it attaches the video instead of just taking a screenshot. So it depends on what type of content you are currently showing on the screen. Keep in mind that this shortcut doesn't appear when you trigger Gemini on the home screen. In Messages, we got a brand new feature called Chat Theme. So when you open any conversation and then tap on the ellipses, you should see it over here. This feature will allow you to choose a color palette for each chat with plenty of options to choose from. And the first one is inspired by your wallpaper colors. Plus, you have the ability to choose a wallpaper for the chat. Here you have multiple categories to choose from. You have animals, and here are some of the examples. We have other categories like architecture, black and white, cityscapes, landscapes, macro, space, sunsets, and textures. Or you can choose a custom photo from your gallery. Plus, you have the ability to reset to default using this button. In Google Play Store, we got some visual tweaks. The icons and buttons at the top got redesigned. They are now smaller, plus the count now shows next to the icon instead of overlaying on top of it like before. In the Gmail app, when you go to the side menu, then settings, then it chooses your email account. Scroll down a bit to the Google Workspace Smart Features. When you scroll all the way down, we got this new section says Smart Features in other Google products. This one will allow Gmail to push certain data to other apps. So for example, restaurant reservations and to-go orders in Maps, suggested tickets, loyalty cards, and other passes in Wallet, answers and reminders in Google Assistant, and finally suggestions and answers in the Gemini app. In Google Meet, we got a killer feature called Take Notes for Me, and when you first get the feature, you should see this overlay card. It says Gemini automatically captures your meeting notes so that you can stay focused on the discussion, and when you tap on Learn More, it will show you the supported languages. We have English, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese, and Spanish. This feature is only available for the Google Workspace Edition or Google AI Plan, which is the AI Pro or AI Ultra. So let me show you how this feature works in action. When you join a meeting and then tap on the ellipses, you should see Take Notes with Gemini as one of the options. Tapping on it gives you all the information you might need about this feature. It provides a recap of the meeting conversation backed by a transcript. After the meeting, the notes will be added to the meeting notes document. Then it says that a new document will be created in your Google Drive account. Notes will be sent to the host and their chosen invitees. To change this, start note-taking using Meet on the web. And finally, we have data collected from this meeting, including audio, will be used and kept temporarily to create meeting artifacts. Then you have the ability to uncheck the auto transcript option. once you tap on Start Taking Notes, it says here, Meet is taking notes, and this is how it works. You get a disclaimer that this call is now being transcribed, and you see here in the window that the note-taking is currently working using these icons at the top left corner. The Screenshots app got under the hood change. Now when you go to settings, this toggle got renamed. Previously it used to include the word on device, but now it says search your screenshots with AI. Because when you take a look here at the last line, it says isolated environment on your device or in the cloud. Moving to Wear OS, the phone app got the Material 3 expressive redesign, and here is how it looks now. At the top, you get quick shortcuts for the contacts and keypad. The keypad also got updated with bigger numbers, and each one has its own container. This is how the list looks. Also, when you tap on the contacts, now you see a redesigned grid for your favorites, and here is how the rest of the contacts look. Also, when you open any of the contacts, you see a redesigned card. On the left, you can see the contact photo with quick shortcuts for the calls and messages, and then the rest of the details. So it looks much better in comparison. Now let's end this video by showing you two new Pixel exclusive features. The first one is related to Magic Queue. When you go to settings, then Magic Queue, then use data from specific apps. The Now Playing got a brand new toggle under this page. I didn't get any suggestions from Now Playing just yet to show you how it works in real life, but I will keep you updated in my future videos. The second one is also under settings. When you go to accounts and backup, and then Google Backup, and then other device data. When you scroll down, you will see that the data is now classified into two sections, one for device data, which we used to have before, in addition to the new app data section. Here you can include or exclude any of these apps using these individual toggles, and you can expand the list or collapse it like this. Last but not least, the Google search widget on your home screen is now taller than before. So that's pretty much it for today. These are all the new features I wanted to show you in Google Apps, and if you spotted any new feature, you can reach me out on social media to include in my future episodes. But for now, thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next video.